Good afternoon, all of you.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Let us wait for one more minute. Um, from next week, next coming 15 days, we are not going to have theory classes. You know that, but maybe in the Google Classroom, I will let you know if I require any class. Because see, if I don't have 15 days, if I don't have theory class, then how I will complete the syllabus? Isn't it? Because these 15 days you're not having theory class, again next 15 days you will have, so there will be a lot of gap and you will forget everything, and the most important thing is I will not be able to finish the syllabus, isn't it? So what I will do, whenever I am free and you are also free, I will suggest some schedules and I will take classes. Okay.
And
Ma'am,
that means
Do
every
you
ma'am,
teacher
have
will
any?
going to do the same.
I don't know. I don't know
ma'am, who
that,
is
but
creating such kind of routines, ma'am?
hmm?
Who is creating such kind of routines? 15 days lab and then 15 days theory and again 15 days lab and theory without
No,
and
actually,
lab without theory.
50% lab
Lab
without
without
theory. That is
theory.
also a problem. I don't know. It has been. These are not prepared by us. Actually, this is. But the thing is, 50% attendance is there. If everybody comes, 100% attendance. If all the students are coming to the college, there might be some problem. So the rule is 50% at a time. 50% students will be there. So it is only possible in lab. Theory classes, it is not possible, isn't it? All the students, if you sit in your class, just imagine, all of you sit in a single bench. You'll sit, how many students? 3 to 4 students, you'll sit in a single bench. Otherwise it won't fit also. 60 to 64 students are there, and a
Yes, ma'am.
teacher,
64.
so that's why I think this has been done. But every teacher will require theory classes. I also require theory classes. I only have theory classes with you, so I will take, if you have problem in whichever time I am mentioning, you will inform me. It's, we don't have a, Acha, we had a this WhatsApp group is, oh, I will inform to your CR, but we had a WhatsApp group, isn't it? That for DBMS we had a WhatsApp group.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Change that name, rename it, and I can contact you there. Okay. So how many have come? 41. Today I have also given you a date, submission of that ERT and modules. Did you go through that? What is the date? Monday is the date, last date of submitting those things for the
What
project.
day? This Monday.
This Monday. And I will also take a, I will conduct a meeting and I will see what you have done. Let me talk with HD sir. Whenever he is also available, I will send you a meeting link, or we can meet here also, and I will see what things you have done till date. Okay. But before that, you will upload it in the Google Classroom
What
within one
ERT?
day. Read it, what is written there. There it is all clearly mentioned what you have to provide. Okay. So let me start. Where did we stop last day? Can anybody tell me? Okay. Logic tomorrow.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, can you tell me what we have to do in this project?
You have to develop the full project, okay, but I wanted you to do it incrementally. So what I suggested was, you have to first of all go through those websites whichever has been assigned to you. Go through those websites, find out what are the features they have. Okay, according to those features and functions, you design your modules. Okay, suppose a library management system, you will design a module that will um, uh, there is a module you have designed which is calculating the fine the students are the fine that has been allocated for a particular book for a particular student. So fine calculation can be a module. Okay. Similarly, what are the functions present in a website? Those functions you identify and you design you say that, ma'am, I have in my project I have 4 modules. First module will do this, calculate fine. Second module will enable the searching options. Third module will do this, and the fourth module will do something. So these are the things you will tell me. Next, you will jot down what are the individual functions of each module. Actually, what the modules are doing. Okay, those functions you have to write it down against each module. These are manually you are doing. You are analyzing what you have to do, and you are writing down that these are the requirement. This module will function in this manner, and so these the 1, 2, 3, 4. You can just give the functions. This is the first function it will do. This is the second function, and then overall, if 4 functions are there for a particular module, you will say this module has 4 functions. It will do these. Okay. Similarly, the other module can also have 2 to 3 functions. One module can have only 1 function. So this way you will do some requirement analysis. This is known as feasibility study and requirement analysis. This is the first step in software engineering also. What we do, we given a software, given something, maybe some requirement specification can also be given to you, and you have to analyze that what are the things you have to do. So those are your modules and corresponding functions. Once you do that, for example, you can say that, ma'am, that payment or wallet option, there is a module which will deal with the wallet corresponding to a website. Okay. So the addition of money to the wallet, the deduction of money when a transaction takes place, or addition of some coupons, some discounts, some other things to the wallet. So these are the functions associated with that wallet, the module which is dealing with the wallet system of a particular website. Okay, maybe your website doesn't have that system. When you are doing 99 acres, I have given someone 99 acres, so their wallet system is not there. So you will not do that module. So whichever is applicable to your website, you will find out that. So this requirement analysis is the first step. Until and unless you are clear with what you are doing, you won't be able to proceed. So this is the first step. Once you do that, corresponding ERD. So if your picture is clear that you are doing these functions, so you will understand, okay, these tables I will design. Once your tables and other things are clear with you in your mind, then you can design the ERD. Okay, and what is the relationship among this set of data and that set of data? Those relationships you can show it via the ERD. So on Monday, what you are giving me is you are giving me the module names of the module, functions of each module, and the corresponding ERD. Okay.
Ma'am, could you please extend that date?
কেন রে বাবা,
Yes,
তোমরা
ma'am.
কিছু করোনি এতদিন?
না ম্যাম আমি জানতাম, মানে আমার
Yes, ma'am,
প্রজেক্টটা
please.
দেখে আমি কিছু বুঝতে পারছিলাম না কি
আচ্ছা,
করতে হয়।
এটা করার পরে আমি বলে নি আরেকবার, এটা
Okay.
করার পরে আমরা এটা ইনক্রিমেন্টালি আমি করাচ্ছি তোমাদেরকে, নাহলে at a time করালে what will happen, it is not a good design. মানে তুমি at a time you are just starting with implementation, writing codes. This is not a proper design. You should always start with the ERD. Okay, requirement analysis, then ERD. Next, what you will do, once you complete this phase, this design phase, then you will design your backend. Okay, how you will design your backend? Now you will go to your codes. So whether you have, I asked you to do in Oracle. So in Oracle, what you will do, you will design the tables and you will find out whether they are normalized or not. You don't design the tables in such a way that lot of redundancy is there. Maybe it is only in 1NF. No, try to design in such a way that at least it is reaching 2NF or 3NF would be a better one. Okay, so decompose the tables in such a way, create links among the tables, foreign key relationship, who will be your primary key, All these things you do in the ERD, and then what you're doing, you're designing, actually you're writing creating the tables. Okay. Once you create the tables, now the question of data, you will insert the data. So your backend will be ready in the next phase. So first phase is you are preparing the ERD and requirement analysis and modules manual. That is somewhat no coding, nothing. You're doing it manually. Next phase is what you will do the database. You will design your tables, create constraints, and the third phase is now you will think about your front end and middle tier. You want to do, suppose I want to insert
Ma'am,
some
Absar is
records.
waiting outside. Absar is waiting outside.
So the third phase is you are implementing your front end and middle tier. Okay. Once you complete the third phase, then your project is ready. So there are 3 phases. Clear? Okay. So do it. Saturday, Sunday is there. You can obviously.
Ma'am,
Time
but
is
it
there.
won't
How
be
much time
possible.
you will take?
Ma'am,
Many
all of us
many
are traveling now.
Yes,
So
ma'am. PG shifting and all.
traveling, everything is there in these 2 days.
Okay, I will see it. Wait, let me
Ma'am,
share.
Rohan is waiting.
Rohan is waiting. Where? No one is waiting. Okay, let us start. Now, let us start with this. I will change the time, okay? By Wednesday, because this phase is very important, designing the ERD. Based on your ERD only, you will design your backend. And later on, changing the backend is very difficult. If you later on think that I will change the structure of the table, you can obviously, but it is difficult. So designing your ERD is very important phase.
And
What
Friday,
tables you are keeping, what are the constraints? Friday. If you do on Friday, then I will expect that you will also design your tables, the backend part. Create table though, you don't have to do much things. Okay, ERD along with the Oracle tables should be there.
and why can't we do that? That whatever is required now, we do it on Wednesday. Then next part should on Friday, like
That you can do. That is upon you. But every day I won't be. I don't have so much time that I will check on Wednesday again. I will check on Friday. Isn't it? So tell me one day. Friday is okay. Okay, let me tell you. Saturday, next Saturday, you will complete the module, the manual part, the design part of the ERD, as well as the backend, the Oracle, the creation of tables and constraints. Okay, so next Saturday, I will call you one by one. You will submit, as well as after I complete your checking, then you will submit and upload it in the Google Classroom. Okay, I will change the date. Understood, everybody? It is clear to everyone? Yes or no? No answer.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. That's fine.
Fine, all of you are agreeing with this?
अरे बोलो सब, फिर बाद में मेरा नाम मत लगाना.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम
ना
टेबल भी
छेड़े
दिखाना
दो,
होगा ना?
प्रोजेक्ट करो ही ना, नहीं तो छोड़ दो, प्रोजेक्ट मत करो, कोई कंपल्शन नहीं है.
मैम नेक्स्ट सैटरडे को टेबल भी दिखाना होगा ना?
हाँ, तो तुम्हारा अगर ERD रेडी है, तुम्हारा अगर कंस्ट्रेंट्स पता है तुमको क्या क्या you will put in your ERD, those constraints are also and if you have linked your tables in the ERD, then you know who is the foreign key and who is the relationship. So everything you know from the ERD, so you will just design your tables. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
What was last day? What we did? We did the definitions of what is a distributed database. We did what are the transparency. Can anybody tell me what type of transparencies we have in distributed database? What are the levels of transparency? What are the levels of transparency? Is anyone there? You're hungry or feeling sleepy or what? What are the levels of transparency? Don't know? Have you heard the term levels of transparency?
In global transparency?
Global transparency. Bah. Global relation. Global transparency now. Next, global relation is there. Now, what are the transparency? Fast. Already half an hour is over.
Location transparency.
Location transparency. Next. Google search karo. Location transparency. Next.
Fragmentation and replication.
Fragmentation, replication. Another important transparency is there.
Network.
Integrity.
Google bolche. के बोलছে गूगल बोलছে
मैम सर्च करने पे तो ये तीन आया
यही बोल रहे हैं हाँ वही तो तुम लोग क्या अगला प्रीवियस क्लास में तुम लोग
मैंने
क्या क्या मैम पढ़ा रही है
मैंने अटेंड नहीं किया था
location transparency first is I have a global relation.
Yes ma'am.
Global relation is divided into fragments. What is a distributed database? A distributed database is where the data is distributed over different sites. We are not going to keep the data in a single machine or in a single processor. Don't say processor. It would be because nowadays a single machine has multiple processors. We should not use that term. We are not going to keep it in a single server, okay, database server or DBMS server. We are going to separate it. We are going to distribute it into different sites where each site is maintaining its own DBMS software. So if I have 3 machines, then machine 1 is having a DBMS software. It can be Oracle, any other software, any other server can be there. Site 2 is also maintaining its own server, local server, and site 3 is also maintaining its own local server. So local means site 1, when we are at site 1, we say it is the if I generate an application at site 1, a program, a query at site 1, and the data is available at site 1, we say it is a local application. And when I execute a query from site 1, but it needs data from other sites, then we will say it is what type of application? Global application. Okay. So there are, it is not that only if you distribute the data into 3 machines. Suppose I have 3 machines which is connected via a LAN in the lab. And you say, ma'am, I have 3 tables and I have kept 1 table here, I kept 1 table there and another table in the 3rd machine. So is it a distributed database? I will say no, it is not a distributed database. First of all, the data must be logically related. Next is there should be both type of applications. One application which is local, that means first machine, the data kept in first machine, the application is only accessing that data. And another application from that site itself, there should, in every site, there should be local and at least 1 global application, every site. Okay. So in the global application, what will happen? The application will access data from other machines, other 2 machines, maybe other 1 machine or other 2 machines, both the machines. So this feature, if it is present, then only we will say, yes, it is maintaining the feature of distributed database. Now the question is how to divide. So I was in the point, transparency. What is the meaning? Last day I showed you an architecture. If you remember, in that architecture, there were different levels. If you remember, I have to search here. So there were different levels. One was, first level was the global schema. The global relation was there. Global means the full relation, which is the undivided relation, the undivided data, the full data of your database that you are creating. The full data is present at the first level. When I go down, what I do, I divide the data based on some certain conditions. We will study today the design process. So based on certain conditions, certain rules, we divide the data, we split the data into different parts. Okay, that division of data into different parts is known as fragmentation. Okay, so when I am in the global schema level, first level, I have a transparency which is known as fragmentation transparency. That means from the global schema level, I don't know how the data will be divided, whether the data will be divided or not. Nothing is known to me. Clear? The data, the information, the knowledge regarding fragmentation of your whole data global relation is unknown to me. That's why it is known as fragmentation transparency. Here transparency means I don't know the details of fragmenting. Now, when I go down from the fragmentation schema, next schema is allocation schema. What is this allocation schema? Allocation scheme, I'm not showing you the diagram, listen carefully. So in the allocation schema, what I know the relation R has been fragmented. That information is known to me. But what is not known to me? What is not known to me? I don't know these fragments, where it will be allocated, in which site it will be allocated. Suppose there are 3 fragments. Fragment 1 will be allocated where, in which machine, in which site, in which server, nothing is known to me. So allocation of those fragments are unknown to me. So that is known as allocation transparency or location transparency. Allocation or location, any one word you can use. So that allocation is unknown, so it is allocation transparency. Next, when I am at allocation level, there I know that this fragment is assigned to site 1, this fragment is assigned to site 2, and other details, where it has been assigned, where it has been kept, that is known to me. But I have another transparency even at that level. What is that? Can anybody tell me?
Local mapping.
Local mapping transparency. What is this local mapping transparency? It means I know here it has been kept, but there in that machine, how it is kept, what is the software they are using, how many tables they are maintaining for keeping that data, what constraints they have kept, all these local site informations, local database informations are unknown to me. So that is known as local mapping transparency. Okay. Another transparency here also lies, that is known as replication transparency. That means I said here redundancy is, we will not pay much attention to redundancy. Whenever I am talking about distributed database, redundancy will be there, and we deliberately will we can introduce redundancy when here redundancy I'm talking about copies, backup. What I will do, fragment 1 I will distribute, make replicas of fragment 1, and we can have maybe 2 replicas of fragment 1. So see here construction work is going on, that's why a lot of noise is coming. So I can have 2 replicas of fragment 1. One will be kept in site 1 and another one can be kept in site 3. So how many replicas we are having, that is also unknown in the allocation level. Okay. So these are the levels of transparency. Now let me come to design process. Today we will study about the design process. Design means how to design the fragments, how to design, split the table. The original relation is R. I'm splitting it into, in the figure it is showing that I'm splitting it into fragment 1 at fragment 1, fragment 2 and fragment 3. Forget about the allocation. Okay, forget about the allocation. We are just concentrating on how to split and what are the methods of splitting. Now, reasons to fragment, there are a lot of reasons. Just see, application views are only subset of relations. Locality of access, locality of access is a very important point in distributed database. We will always try to fragment and allocate in such a way that local applications are more, because see, global application is a very overhead is a lot of overhead is included in global application, because global application accesses fragments of different sites. So what happens, network, maybe their network might failure might happen, or some congestion, network congestion can be there. So a lot of overheads are there for global application. So we will design in our motto, our objective will be always look, I will fragment in such a way that local applications are more. Okay, maybe one global application is there, but local applications are more, means locally the data is available in the site. Whatever application, majority of the applications will get their data in their own site. Local access means, locality of access means, majority of the applications at site 1, suppose, will get their data on which it is, whatever it is doing, update, insert, whatever it is doing, should fetch the data from its own local site. So that's why we do this. And concurrent or parallel execution of transactions is done by what? By splitting my tuples into different fragments. That means parallelly, concurrently, we are going to access both this tuple as well as that tuple. So this is known as parallel execution, which increases obviously the efficiency. Now see, another point is, see, so you understood why we are fragmenting. First of all, parallel execution, and the second point is, if I keep fragment 1 and fragment 2, suppose here I am doing 2 fragments. One is fragment 1 and fragment 2 as a single one, and fragment 3 as the second fragment. So what would happen here in this site 2? There will be application which is accessing data, everything I am keeping here. So local access is increasing. But here, if I don't, suppose here I have applications which is present in fragment 2. I should have kept it in fragment 1, those tuples, but I have by mistake or by wrong design, I have kept it in fragment 2. So there are, suppose, 2 tuples in site 2 present in fragment 2, which are accessed by site 1 applications. I should not have kept it there. I should have kept it in along with fragment 1 tuples. So these things has to be kept in mind. So disadvantage, performance degradation, like in global applications, if I don't have the data in my local site, performance will obviously degrade. Attributes participating in dependency. There is another important disadvantage here. Can anybody tell me? The thing is, when I require to join, sometimes I require join, isn't it? That I will join, suppose I have two columns here and I have rest 3 columns here. Then if I have 2 columns and here I have 3 columns, if I want to join, then what happens? I have to do join among different sites, fragments present among different sites. So this is a problem. If I had kept everything in a single machine, then those joining of at least of the single table would be better. Performance would be better. But here, when I divide it into different parts, then join is a very important issue. I will show you that. Not now, just let me complete a little bit. See, so this is a global relation project. Global relation project. 2 cities, the location is Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi. Okay, just see the tuples. Before coming to that, I have a global relation what are the different types of fragmentation I can do? What are the different types of fragmentation I can do? I can do majorly three types of, three or four types of fragmentation. What are the four types? One is horizontal fragmentation. You can make a note, okay? One is horizontal fragmentation. Another one is vertical fragmentation. These are the most important one, major one. Next one is derived horizontal fragmentation. And the fourth one is mixed fragmentation, which is also in some books, it is known as hybrid fragmentation. Okay, written. So 4 types of fragmenting, 4 types of splitting we can apply. So
Please
one
repeat
is
the four.
horizontal fragmentation. One is horizontal fragmentation. Next one is horizontal fragmentation. In some books, you will find primary horizontal fragmentation. You can also write with an oblique. Primary horizontal fragmentation. Next is vertical fragmentation. Vertical fragmentation. Third one is derived horizontal fragmentation. Derived horizontal fragmentation. And the fourth one is hybrid fragmentation or mixed fragmentation. Written? Now, whatever I am telling, you write it. Okay, wait. Yeah, if it is present here, no need to write. Just 1 minute. Yes, it is present here, but the definitions you have to write it a bit. What are the correctness for any type of fragmentation? I said you 4 types of fragmentations are there. Please listen carefully, otherwise you will not understand to discuss. There are 4 types of fragmentation, I said. So whether you follow horizontal or vertical, whatever fragmentation you follow, every fragmentation must have these 3 rules, must must satisfy these 3 rules. What are the 3 rules? These rules are known as correctness rules. These rules are known as correctness rules. What are the 3 rules? First rule is completeness. Second one is reconstruction. And third one is disjointness. Completeness, reconstruction, and disjointness. Am I audible
Yes, ma'am.
properly?
Yeah.
Are you listening properly? Take a copy. Do you have copy in front of you?
Writing, ma'am.
Try to take running notes. Otherwise, you will get confused when I go in details. So completeness is what? I'm coming to the first point, completeness. All the data of the global relation must get mapped into a fragment. What is the meaning? Completeness means every tuple, each and every tuple of the global relation must somehow map to at least one of the fragment. When it is not that, there is a tuple in the global relation who did not get mapped to any of the fragments. Suppose I have 3 fragments of the global relation. So each tuple of the global relation R must map to either fragment 1 or fragment 2 or fragment 3. No hanging tuple should be there. No tuple should be there in the global relation which is not assigned to any fragment. When it is hanging, it is not assigned to any function. If it happens, then we will say it is not, completeness rule is not satisfied. Okay? Okay. So can you compare it with lossless decomposition? You remember lossless decomposition was what? We should not lose any information. Lose means neither we should gain anything nor should we lose any tuple of the global actual relation. This was there. Same thing here. Every tuple in the global relation should map to the any one of the fragments that you have created. Okay, understood? Next. A project as the global relation, I make fragments of this relation. I should be able to, after joining those fragments, I should be able to get back project. Okay. Because why this is so? Because global relation is lost. I don't have any concept. I don't store the original global relation anywhere. I always store the fragments. So what was the global relation? Sometimes it is required to know what was actually the global relation. I am dealing with fragments, but what was the global relation now? So you should design your fragments in such a way that after joining them, you should get back your original global relation. Okay, after joining them, you should get back your original global relation. This is reconstruction, along with the constraints and other things also. Now, disjointness means what? The other property was disjointness. What is this disjointness? This property, the third one, is always not satisfied. Okay, just listen. Disjointness, I said correctness rules must be satisfied by any type of fragmentation you are doing, but exception is there. The exception is disjointness is not satisfied by a fragmentation which is known as vertical fragmentation. So vertical fragmentation is not disjoint fragment. Why? I'm coming. And what is the meaning of disjoint? Disjoint means I will come to this disjoint with an example. Okay, can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the degree of fragmentation? What they are saying? They are saying that degree of fragmentation is I am not fragmenting at all. It is as it is. Or how much I can fragment. Will I suppose I have a global relation with 10 tuples, and you are fragmenting 2 tuples in one of the site, or one of the fragment is consisting of 2 tuples. The other fragment is consisting of 3 tuples. The other one is consisting of remaining tuples. So this is the level. Or you can say if there are 10 tuples, what is the maximum level of fragmentation? You have 10 tuples in your original relation and you can fragment it to individual levels. Mane, each tuple is a fragment. So you are getting 10 such fragments. Maybe your application is such that this way of fragmentation is yielding you better result, then you can fragment it even to individual level fragmentations. So 10 tuples are there, you have 10 fragments. Clear? So this is the degree of fragmentation, how much you can fragment. Now let me come to horizontal fragmentation. So first one was horizontal fragmentation, which is preferred more than the other fragmentations. So I have a project relation. I am fragmenting it horizontally. That means tuple wise. All the attributes will be as it is. Tuples will be distributed. Now see, this is one form of horizontal fragmentation, where in project 1 only 2 is there. Yes, project 1 is one of the fragment and project 2 is the second fragment. Here Kolkata and Mumbai, and this one is containing Mumbai and Delhi. And you can see budget here is, project budget is 15,000, 13,000, less than, I can say it is less than maybe 20,000. So the first project is less than is containing budget all the tuples whose budget is less than 20,000, and the second one is containing all the projects, all the tuples whose budget is greater than 20,000. Clear? So it is dividing horizontally based on budget value. They came to vertical fragmentation. We will complete. Let me just tell you, vertical fragmentation means what? I will come to vertical fragmentation later. Let me complete the horizontal one. Okay, in the slide it is written here. Don't worry, I will come to that. Let me concentrate on horizontal. This is a very lot of sums comes from this horizontal fragmentation. So we are talking about PHF, that is primary horizontal fragmentation. Okay, now see, suppose we have to find out whether those correctness rule, before coming to this slide, what rules we had? Completeness, reconstruction, and disjointness. Suppose here, tell me, if I fragment in this manner, is the completeness rule satisfied? What is completeness saying? Each tuple of the relation, just see P1 is one of the tuple, P1 is assigned to one of the fragment. P2 is another tuple, P2 is also assigned to a fragment. P3 is another tuple, P3 is assigned to the second fragment, and P4 is the fourth tuple, which is also assigned to a particular fragment. So no tuple is hanging, no tuple I have, it is not there, I mean, it is not that a tuple is there which is not assigned to a fragment. Every tuple, each and every tuple has been assigned to a fragment. So we will say that the fragmentation that I have done here is complete. Now, what about reconstruction? When I join these two tables, what happens? I can get back the original table. And what about disjointness? What about disjointness? Disjointness means in case of every fragmentation, whether it is primary horizontal fragmentation or derived horizontal fragmentation, except vertical one, we should not map a single tuple to more than one fragment. It should be, each fragment should be mutually exclusive. So see, here no common tuple is there. So a tuple is assigned to only a single fragment, but our fragment can have many tuples. So it is a many to one relationship again. Clear? It is a from where to where, many to one? Tuple to fragment. So if I have tuple this side and fragment that side, our tuple gets associated with only one fragment, whereas our fragment gets associated with more than one tuples. Will you remember this? So that maintains the disjoint property of fragmentation. Clear? Okay. Now I should have here. Tell me one point. If I want to reconstruct, will I do join or something else? By mistake, I said actually join we are not going to do here. What I will do? Can anybody tell me? Because it is disjoint, isn't it? Join we have a common attribute and we match natural join, we match the, you remember, this dot this is equal to this dot this. This was the join condition. Here what I will do in order to get back the original relation, reconstruction, how I will do instead of join? I'm not joining. Why? Because no tuples is repeated. So P1 will not be repeated here. So if I join, that equality condition will not happen. So I will not join to get back the original. Reconstruction will be done via what?
Union.
Union. Very good. Who answered?
Onomitro.
Hmm?
Onomitro.
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 So it will be union. So what I will do? Project 1, union, project 2. So you have to use relational algebra operations. Don't forget relational algebra. Here when we do sums, everything will be many relational algebra operations will be there. So it's better you sir is already teaching you again relational algebra, because there is a module, the first module, it is there, isn't it? So I have to do union of this and this in order to satisfy the reconstruction property. Clear? Okay. Now let me come to this part. Vertical and mixed, I will do latter. Okay, because this is important, otherwise you will fall asleep. Achha. Primary horizontal, I will not use these symbols. I will use something else. Primary horizontal, we are talking about primary horizontal fragmentation. Okay, now fragmenting a single tuple horizontally, these are already I said. Now what is a simple predicate? What is a simple predicate? Predicate means what? What is a predicate? If R is a predicate মানে condition, predicate অনেক বার বলেছি, predicate means condition. In DBMS I said algebra, while teaching algebra I said predicate means condition. So if I write and if you talk about SQL, you say predicate means in the where clause, whatever condition we give, that is a predicate. So here, what is the meaning of simple predicate? So we have two terms I will be using. One is simple predicate, another one is mean term predicate. You have to understand this part very carefully. It is a little bit confusing if you don't pay your attention. What is a simple predicate? A simple predicate, let us have a global relation R. Here they have taken a global relation R, and what are the attributes? A1, A2 till AN are the attributes of R. A simple predicate PI, PIY, P is what? Capital P is the set of simple predicates. Capital P is a set of simple predicates. Many simple predicates are there. There may be one, there may be more than one. Multiple simple predicates are there. Where PI is the ith simple predicate of that set. PI is equal to AJ theta value. What is AJ? AJ is any one attribute you take from here. Theta is your operator. It can be equal to, less than, greater than, all these operators are there, and the value. So if I write, it is an attribute of the relation R, then simple predicate is city is equal to Kolkata. Okay. Okay. Moreover, if I say department is equal to D1, so department is equal to D1 is a simple predicate. Clear? So here it is, this expression is, you can understand from this expression itself. So a single condition, don't think that city is equal to Kolkata and department is equal to D1. No, I'm talking about a single predicate, only attribute, one attribute, the operator and the value. Okay, so this is ith simple predicate. So we can have many simple predicates in your relation, and if I form a set with those simple predicates, then that is indicated by P. And value is domain of the attribute. All of you know this. Value means whatever values you have in your attribute, that becomes the value. Now here, okay, but before that, you just write one line before I come to the example. You have written simple predicate? Okay, just hold on. Let me complete this, then I will come there. This is just whatever I said. They have given an example. Account is there, and then they are set of simple. They have created some simple predicates. Set of simple predicates. P1 is equal to balance less than 10,000, balance greater than equal to 10,000. See your table. In this table, they have divided. They have designed the simple predicates such that we can divide it into two parts. One is balance less than 10, balance less than 10,000. Another one is balance greater than equal to 10,000. So it is basically, if I follow these two simple predicates, then it is dividing the full set of tuples into two. It is not necessary that always you have to design simple predicates such that it divides into two. You could have made a set of simple predicates P1 where you could have written balance less than 5,000, another one balance greater than 5,000, greater than equal to 5,000, less than 10,000, and the third predicate balance greater than equal to 10,000. So how many fragments, you can imagine how many fragments from these three simple predicates? Three fragments. First fragment, some tuples will satisfy first simple predicate, that is balance less than 5,000. Second one will be satisfied by some tuples, and the third condition or third predicate, simple predicate, will be satisfied by some other tuples. So if according to these simple predicates, if I have three such simple predicates, then I can imagine that the table might get distributed into three sets. Okay, but it is not so simple. We will add something here. Just see. What is example 2? Set of simple predicates P2, another set. Suppose some students have designed this set, some students have designed this set. Now, which one is correct or which one is wrong? There are certain rules for that. Okay, because there can be many simple predicates in your table. So many values are there, so many attributes are there, so many conditions you can say, isn't it? Here we can say where account is equal to or account account where balance, with balance we can prepare where balance less than this, or with branch name we can prepare where branch name is equal to Mumbai, where branch name is equal to Chennai. So these are the conditions we can prepare. And even with account also we can prepare. If I say where account is equal to A101, so this will be one of the tuple of fragment. Where account is equal to A103. So many multiple such predicate exists in your table. But what to take and what to discard, you have to know. So P1 was one particular example. P2 is another example where they have designed branch name is equal to Chennai is one of the simple predicate. Branch name is equal to Mumbai is the second simple predicate. And balance less than 10,000, balance greater than equal to 10,000. So they have designed 4 simple predicates. Okay. Okay. Now the question is which one is correct and which one is not correct. Before knowing that correction, which one to take and which one not to take, we have certain rules. I will tell you one by one. This is important. See. Whenever I talk about simple predicates, there is another term called mean term predicate comes into our mind. What is this mean term predicate? Mean term predicate is a set, means it is we can say it is also a set. It is a set Y prepared from the set P representing the simple predicates, which is the conjunction of all the predicates appearing in P, either taken in natural form or in negative form. What is the meaning? Let me explain. First write a mean term predicate. You are writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes you'll say yes, no, otherwise I also feel very awkward to understand. Continuously I go on speaking, whether you're understanding or not, I don't, because everything. Writing? Right. A mean term predicate y. It is not written here in the slide. You write it. A mean term predicate y for a set capital P, for a set capital P of simple predicates is the conjunction of all predicates appearing in capital P, is the conjunction of all predicates appearing in capital P, comma, either taken in natural form or negated, 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 comma, provided that this expression is not a contradiction. Provided that this expression is not a contradiction. Thus, small y is equal to, I am repeating, a mean term predicate y for a set P of simple predicates is the conjunction of all predicates appearing in capital P, either taken in natural form or taken in negative form, provided that this expression is not a contradiction. Thus, small y is equal to, small y is what? The mean term predicate is equal to conjunction of, so what you will use, this symbol, and symbol. In relational algebra, this is what? And. Use that symbol, and in the suffix of that symbol, you write small pi belongs to P. Small pi belongs to P, and beside the symbol, conjunction symbol, you write P suffix I star. Star will be superscript. Where written, what did I say? Y is equal to and symbol. Below that and symbol, you write Pi belongs to P. And beside that and symbol, you write Pi. Pi means P suffix I. Pi star. Star is above that Pi, superscript. Written? Now write where Pi star is equal to Pi, or Pi star is equal to not NOT, capital NOT, Pi. Please write, then I will explain.
Please repeat.
How much you have written?
Where Pi star equal to?
Acha, where y is equal to conjunction, this and symbol, this one. Okay. That symbol, suffix of that symbol, below this symbol, you write Pi belongs to P. And beside this symbol, you write Pi star. Pi star. Star will be a superscript. After writing that expression, you write where Pi star is equal to Pi, where Pi star is what? Is equal to Pi, or Pi star is equal to not Pi. Not can be written either in this. See, this is not in relational algebra, isn't it? This symbol. L, reverse L. It is not symbol in relational algebra. So not pi. Either write not pi or you can just write not, not pi. Written. And y is not equal to false. And y is not equal to false. Written? All of you have written? Here also
Written.
same thing is written. In this slide also same thing is written. Fragment Ri is equal to Fi is the set of simple predicates. Same thing. Okay, let me explain, then you will understand. What is the expression I wrote? What is the meaning? See, first of all, what we are doing? We are creating set of simple. We are creating set of simple predicates. It is denoted by P. And what is Pi? Pi is this P1, P2, P3, P4. What is P1? P1 is, if I take this example, balance less than 10,000. This is actually P, this single predicate, this one is P, single predicate is the Pi, okay, single predicate. Again, balance greater than equal to 10,000, another single predicate, simple predicate, this is another Pi. So Pi is these individual simple predicates, okay. Now, so set is consisting of this, combining all them together is forming the set. Now what I will do? I will do the conjunction of each of these Pi. So here in P2 set, how many Pi is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Pi is, four simple predicates are there. So I will do the conjunction of these simple predicates either in normal form or in negated form. Negated form means what? Branch name is equal to Chennai is the simple predicate written here. So this is your normal form. And branch name not equal to Chennai will be your negated form. Clear? Okay. So not Pi means branch name not equal to Chennai. Then what I will do? I will do the conjunction of them, and operator I will be using, and then I will form min-term predicates. So let me give an example. It will become more clear. See. So they have taken this simple predicates. Two simple predicates are there. One is balance less than 10,000 and balance greater than equal to 10,000. From here, if there are two simple predicates, that means 2 to the power of 2 min-term predicates will be designed. So if there are I number of simple predicates, then 2 to the power of I min-term predicates can be designed, will be designed. Okay. So here 2, so 4 min-term predicates. What is each min-term predicate is this one. Just see, this is the natural form, not normal, it's better to say natural. So balance less than 10,000 is your original simple predicate. So I have written that, and the conjunction balance greater than equal to 10,000. Both are natural form. Next one is balance less than 10,000 is the natural form and not negated form of the second, this one. So again, negated form of this one and balance greater than equal to 10,000, the natural form. And this is both are in negated form. Clear? So how many min-term predicates I'm getting? 4. So if you go to the definition, they said negation, conjunction of all the simple predicates either in natural form or in negated form. And there was another condition, y is not equal to false. What is y? Y is these set of min-term predicates. Okay. Now this should not be false. That means if you take each and you have to go through, after designing your min-term predicates, you have to analyze each min-term predicates, whether it is possible to form or not. For example, here, let me go to M4. Not balance less than, neither balance is less than 10,000 nor balance is greater than equal to 10,000. Is it possible? Can you have any tuples where it is neither less than 10,000 nor it is greater than equal to 10,000?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
So
ma'am.
this false. So this mean term predicate M4 is invalid. I will cancel this. Clear? Let me go to M3. Not balance is not less than 10,000. Okay, and balance is greater than equal. This is all right. There can be tuples which is satisfying this condition. So M3 I will be taking. Next, M2, balance less than 10,000 and balance is not greater than 10,000. This is also okay, isn't it? And what about M1? M1?
This is also false.
Doubt? You have a doubt? Can I have any tuple where I will say the balance
No.
10,000 से कम भी है ज्यादा भी है? ऐसा कोई मनी, ऐसा कोई अमाउंट है जहां बैलेंस दोनों को satisfy, it will satisfy both?
No.
कभी होगा? Is it
No, ma'am.
possible?
No, ma'am.
No,
It is, in reality it is never possible कि balance less than भी है 10,000 and greater than 10,000 है. दोनों तो एक साथ नहीं हो सकते हैं. तो this is also invalid mean term predicate. So M1, after designing from the simple predicates, set of simple predicates, I first of all find out how many mean term predicates I can design. That is 2 to the power of I, where I denotes the number of simple predicates I have in that set. Next, what I do, I design them. After designing them, I analyze each mean term predicate and find out whether it is valid or not. Is it reality? In reality, is it possible to have such? Because everything is an AND operator, isn't it? So all should be true. Hence, I find out from here that M1 and M4 are not valid mean term predicates. So next step is I write that these are the two mean term predicates which are valid. Okay, M2 and M3. Now, what I do with these M2 and M3? I create fragments from M2 and M3. How many valid fragments how many valid mean term predicates I got? 2. So there will be 2 fragments horizontally created from the original table. And what will be the tuples of those 2 fragments? So M2 will correspond to fragment 2, first fragment suppose, and M3 will correspond to the second fragment. 2 fragments are there. Now first fragment will have what? Achha, I have the example, wait. Achha, they have shown it in this way, just in details. See, account 1, account was the table, isn't it? Sigma, so they are writing the corresponding, the algebra from the mean term predicates. So if I write the algebra from the mean term predicates, what I'm getting? Sigma, just see, first one was balance less than 10,000, balance greater than equal to 10,000. So what can I write? Sigma, balance less than 10,000 and balance greater than equal to 10,000 from which table? From the original global relation account. This is one of the this is the algebra corresponding to a mean term predicate. So if I write the corresponding SQL, select star from account where balance is less than 10,000 and balance is greater than equal to 10,000. They have just shown. Now they did not say which one is valid or which one is invalid. Again, corresponding to the second mean term predicate, they have shown the algebra and the corresponding SQL query. This is the third one. See the third one, let me show. Sigma. Sigma is what? Sigma is used for selection in algebra. So sigma not balance, how do I write? Not, then balance less than 10,000 and balance greater than equal to 10,000 account. What is the corresponding SQL query? Select star from account where not Not is what? Which operator? Logical operator. Where not balance less than 10,000 and balance greater than equal to 10,000. So this was the SQL for the third mean term predicate, and correspondingly this is the algebra and SQL for the fourth mean term predicate. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are listening? No, I don't think so.
Listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Listening? So only two voices I can hear always. Girls?
No, no, I'm also listening.
Girls, what happened? Now see. Just now we saw this 1 and 4 is not possible, so they have discarded 1 and 4 and they have shown the corresponding mean term fragment 1, mean term fragment 2. Clear? So mean term fragment 1 has these tuples, and mean term fragment 2 has only these two tuples. Okay? Achha. Now let me come to another important, very important point. Now see, there are till now what is the correctness property that we have? Correctness rules of fragmentation, isn't it? What were the correctness rules of fragmentation? Completeness, reconstruction, and disjointness. Remember those three. Now I will show you what are the two properties which characterize an appropriate fragmentation. That means how to understand whether so you can understand from here that everything is dependent on the simple predicates that you select, because from those simple predicates only you design your mean term fragments, isn't it? So here simple predicate selection follows certain properties or certain rules. Write it first, then I will explain. It is not written here. They have only shown the examples. Okay, I will come to the example. First, you understand. Here, just see in this slide, they have shown that completeness, reconstruction, and disjoint is satisfied. Disjoint means intersect. Disjoint means what? The fragment 1 and fragment 2 should not have duplicate tuples. One tuple, each tuple should be either present in this fragment or that fragment. So intersect will give null, and completeness means union, select star from account 2, union, select star from account 3. This will generate the account original table. This was the rules for fragmentation. Now I will tell you two very important points. First of all, write. Let capital P is equal to, within bracket, P1, P2 small p1, comma small p2, comma dot 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 small pn. It is a set of, be a set of simple predicates. In order for capital P to represent fragmentation correctly and efficiently, in order for capital P to represent fragmentation correctly and efficiently, capital P must be complete and must be minimal. Underline these two words. Must be complete and must be minimal. Written? Just write it. Give me 1 minute. Let me have some water. Why today we have so less attendance? Only 30, 38 or 37
Don't know, man.
students.
People may be busy because yes, last 2 days we had Chhat. Last 2 days we had holidays for Chhat, na? That's right.
No, you did not have holiday. You all took holiday. That is a different issue.
Ma'am, West Bengal government declared holiday.
And so you don't study in a government college.
Maybe people are
But
traveling to
दीदी ने बोला छुट्टी मतलब छुट्टी.
Ma'am,
छुट्टी तो
people
तुम
are traveling.
गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, तुम
Ma'am.
तो प्राइवेट कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हो.
Ma'am, people are traveling, ma'am.
They are traveling.
Still, ma'am. So
Two
I
of my
think people,
two of my
some
friends
are
are
traveling to
train.
Kolkata. Yes.
I think Deepak is attending a class from the train itself.
Rohan also, ma'am. He is attending from train.
तो अच्छा लग रहा है तुम लोग को इतना दिन बाद आ रहे हो. और तुम लोग तो फर्स्ट ईयर में थे.
मैम सुबह उठने में मैम it will be so difficult to get up in the morning.
But I will get another 15 days holiday, you know. Mane, not a holiday, means I will be able to stay at home. I won't be going to college, most probably.
How so?
Now,
How
yes,
so?
because
We
theory
also want to
classes.
know this trick, ma'am.
No, you are students, and you won't be able to know.
Ma'am,
No,
but
the thing is, I don't.
दूसरे क्लास में तो मैम आपका होगा ना.
You are not having any other lab.
हाँ हाँ.
मैम सेकंड ईयर में तो होगा ना.
थर्ड ईयर में मेरा कोई लैब नहीं है ना. थर्ड ईयर तो तुम लोग का
सेकंड ईयर आप तो
हाँ,
पढ़ा
हाँ,
देते ना
हाँ।
डेटा सेक्शन.
सेकेंड ईयर, तो सेकेंड ईयर में तो लैब तो अभी नहीं होगा, वो तो 1 दिसंबर से होगा. तो इसीलिए मुझे शायद till now they did not clarify what we will do. Those who only have theory classes for these 16 days, most probably they have to take it from home. Most probably, luckily, if my luck clicks, I don't know, because I don't want to go to college now. Again, we also have to rush at 9 o'clock, and then so it is difficult. And my daughter's school is not opening. She is very small. She studies in class 4, so it is not opening. She will be at home. So that's why also that is one of the reason I also want to stay at home for at least few more days. So I will only take theory class of second year, and first year.
No, ma'am.
C lab. हाँ.
बच्चा लोग का स्कूल अभी खुलेगा भी नहीं.
नहीं.
It won't open for below
But
classes.
you know, COVID-19,
It won't take
corona
care.
is increasing. I don't know what will happen.
It will of course.
Offline
it
semester
will,
exams.
of course, increase, ma'am. Till how long?
Offline semester
Till
exam.
how long will?
होगा?
It's been long since these guys are making issues out of COVID. There is always going to be a COVID now. It's like an all-time thing now. You can't do anything to avoid it.
Yeah, that is the thing. But still,
Yes.
if it increases very much, let's see. Let's hope for the best. And you all have
Let's hope
arranged
it doesn't
flats.
increase so much because, ma'am, from information which I have gathered, around 53% of the Indian population have received their first dose, and around 30% have even got vaccinated. And meanwhile, in urban areas, around 70% double vaccination will reach. So
Even
yes,
after
that
vaccination, the people who are getting affected, they are
it's like
vaccinated
mild.
people
It's
only.
like mild fever. Yeah, vaccinated ones are getting. It's just like mild fever now. It's no more that intense.
Yes. Intensification will be less.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like mild
So
fever.
all of you have arranged.
छुट्टी दे दीजिए
you
No,
जनरल.
I to live in Kolkata only.
मैम
कोलकाता आने से तुम लोग तो घूमोगे ना, इधर उधर घूमते रहोगे.
अरे no,
Ma'am.
no, I live here only. I to roam every day.
मैम हम लोग
I'm out every day.
वही तो प्रॉब्लम, तुम लोग इतना घूमोगे इधर उधर तो इन्फेक्शन तो बढ़ जाएगा, कमेगा नहीं.
अरे
Yeah.
मैं
But
मेरा
don't do
कौन मैं
that.
तो नहीं करता
Don't
हूँ,
do
मैं तो
that.
वो ध्यान नहीं करता हूँ.
At least few
Ma'am.
months you have to be serious, you know.
छुट्टी दे दीजिए मैम.
अरे मैम कुछ नहीं होना.
Yes, ma'am.
मेरे को आप यकीन नहीं करेगा, मेरे को 2 बार कोविड हो चुका है. और बोलिए.
मैम
Okay.
बात इससे
Let me again, let us come back.
Last topic.
Attendance.
Last.
ये attendance मैम.
Let's come back here. Okay, what I was saying, stop, mute yourself, all of you mute yourself. Acha, what I was saying, but pay attention here. This is very crucial. I will show you an example and then I will stop. Okay, I was saying there are two properties that has to be, once I have divided using that simple predicates and mean term predicates, once I have divided, I have to check two things. What are the two things? One is I have to check for complete, whether it is complete, whether the set of simple predicates that is denoted by P is complete or not, and whether it is whether P is minimal or not. How much did you write? Must
That
be
much
complete
only.
and minimal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now write the first point. That is for completeness, I am saying. We say, write it because then only you will understand. We say that a set capital P of predicates is complete. We say that a set capital P of predicates is complete if and only if any two tuples, if and only if any two tuples belonging to the same fragment, are referenced with the same probability by any application. We say that a set capital P of predicates is complete if and only if any two tuples belonging to the same fragment, are referenced with the same probability, by any application. Point 2, I will explain this, just wait. Point 2, we say that the set capital P is minimal. We say that the set capital P is minimal if all its predicates, if all its individual predicates are relevant. If all its individual predicates are relevant. Written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see, what is the first point? First point is saying we will, completeness means, if I just say in this way that more, if it is in, if I say that capital P, so let me go there. Suppose this is P, this is a set of predicate. Now how, when I will say that this set of predicate is complete, this I can say only if no more simple predicates are required, or in other words, it will be incomplete. I will say it is incomplete if another some more simple predicates are required. Now, what the definition is saying, so if just from the word complete, you can understand complete means no more simple predicates are required. Incomplete means some more predicates are required. Now, how you will understand whether it doesn't require any other simple predicates? How you will understand? You have to go to your the fragments. These are the two fragments, isn't it? What we are saying, this fragment, you have to notice your fragment and your applications. If your application is such that it only issues something like this, the application is, suppose one of the application is find out this where balance is less than 7,000. Okay, so if I write this application, then it will access which fragment? Account 2. Which tuple has a more probability of access? Can you say, ma'am, A115 has more probability of access? No? Can you say A110 has more probability of access? No? what is your condition? Your application is saying find out these details where balance is less than 7,000. So each tuple has equal probability of accessing. Each tuple has equal probability of access. If this is the scenario, then you can say that the simple predicate is complete. Come to the second fragment. Here, if the application is find out these details where balance is greater than 9,000. So here also A103 is, for this application that I just now said, A103 row is similar, has a probability of access, or A102 also has a probability of equal, they have equal probability of accessing. But this will become more clear if I give you another example. Suppose I have, there is the example they have given here very nicely. Suppose, not this. 1 minute. See, just look into this example. Here, they have designed, this is your this is their simple simple predicates. Location is equal to something, location is equal to New York, and location is equal to Orlando. Okay, so these are the locations. According to locations, they have designed 3 simple predicates. After designing 3 simple predicates, these are the algebra, and then they have divided the full table J into JP1, JP2, and JP3. In JP1, all the tuples are with respect to this location. In JP2, all the tuples are with respect to New York, and in JP3, all the tuples are with respect to Orlando. Okay. Now, so as I showed you here, your applications are what? The only application that accesses J wants to access the tuples according to location. Maybe an application is there where it is writing location is equal to New York. So it will access each tuple of this one equally, and it will not access these tuples. So here also each tuple has a 0 probability of access, and here each tuple has equal probability of access. And in JP3, each tuple has 0 probability of access when location is equal to New York. New York is mentioned in an application. So I will say it is complete. No more predicate is required. But if I change case 2, just come to case 2. There is a second application which accesses, listen case 2 seriously. There is a second application which accesses only those project tuples where the budget is less than $2 lakhs. So what it is doing? First of all, I had divided it based on these predicates, 3 predicates. And I said it was complete. When I said complete, when there was only this application. Now, suddenly what happened? I have divided it based on these New York, Orlando, and Montreal. Then suddenly what happened? Another application came where it accessed the projects based on where the budget is less than $2 lakhs. So here come to this. If I come to JP2, it is accessing, it is New York. First condition is New York, and the budget is less than $2 lakhs. So now can you say that both the tuples have equal probability of access for this application? You cannot say, because for this application, which tuple has more probability of accessing? First one, J2.
Yes, ma'am.
J2, because J2's budget is less. Both are New York. But now there is another application which is giving another condition, that is less than, the budget is less than something. So J2 has more probability of access than J3. So I will say the predicate that I created, consisting of 3 cities, simple predicate, it was not complete. I should have further divided it into something. Why? Because my division was not complete. My simple set of predicates were not complete, because here I am getting a fragment where probability of access of a particular row is more than the other. It is not that equally there is a probability of equal access for each row. So what I will do, I will redesign my simple set of predicates, and I will add another predicate. If it is incomplete, that means I have to add a simple predicate. So what I'm doing, just read. Completeness, come here. The previous PR is not complete since some tuple in JPI has higher access probability. For example, tuple J2 has higher access probability than tuple J3 in JP2. 2 applications access J2, but 1 application access J3. To make the set complete, we need to add something. What is that? Budget less than equal to 2 lakhs, budget greater than 2 lakhs to PR. Okay. When I add this, then this is greater than 2 lakhs, this is less than 2 lakhs. So I have to further divide the fragment. So just see here. Oh, it is not shown. So what will happen? JP2 will get further divided into these. J2 as one of the fragment and J3 as the second fragment. Okay, this was completeness. Now minimality, I will stop here. Minimality I will teach again another day. Next week I will take a class. Okay. Otherwise you will forget what I told. You will, all of you will read whatever I said today. You will go through those things and then come next day. Clear? Because next day we are going to study minimality. If you don't go through these, whatever I taught today, you will not understand minimality. You will get very much confused. And then we will do problems. Clear? Okay. So today is Friday. When can I take class? Achha, go to college, then I will decide.
अरे मैम अभी आप क्लास का मत पूछिए, क्योंकि अगला हफ्ता जो कॉलेज खुलेगा ना, तो कैसे क्या लैब क्लास हो रहा है हम लोगों को तो पता नहीं है। इसके पहले कोई हम लोग को सर बोल रहा था कि 4 ग्रुप में डिवाइड हो जाएगा पूरा
4 ग्रुप में डिवाइड हुआ है।
हाँ वही तो मैं बोला, 4 ग्रुप में डिवाइड हो जाएगा वगैरह वगैरह।
is having 15 students, so throughout the day you will be having lab.
क्या बात करते हैं, पूरा दिन लैब?
लैब तो 15 दिन में लैब होगा तो वैसे ही होगा। I don't know, routine is
not. वो तो थ्योरी क्लास हो गई नहीं क्या?
वही तो बोल रहे, थ्योरी क्लास तो नहीं है तुम लोग।
गुड मॉर्निंग पैडी।
ओ 15 दिन थ्योरी क्लास नहीं है?
नहीं।
अरे वाह, मजा आ गया सब तो।
अरे वाह नहीं, I will take theory class one day. I will take only one day.
कैसे टाइम कैसे मिलेगा फिर? तब तो आप बोल रहे जब सारा दिन लैब हो रहा है तो थ्योरी क्लास कैसे होगा?
एक दिन most probably Friday you don't have anything. Okay,
That
Friday
means
is
first
for
we will
4th
have
year.
our offline LAN, then every teacher will take online classes.
I am talking about myself. I don't know what other teachers will do. I will take my class. Okay. For the time being, let me fix that Friday. Friday you won't be having lab. Most probably 4th year will be having their, if they have anything. So Friday you are not having anything. Friday this time I will, as usual, 2:15 I will take your class. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm fixing this. Okay. Give your attendance.
Roll number 6.
No, wait. Don't give it there. Don't give it there. I will call. Wait. Don't write in the chat box. Do not write in the chat box, please. Anumitra Ghosh.
Yes, ma'am.
Deepak Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Vishal Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Pradyum Mohta.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayush Shah. Ayush Shah. Vivek Agarwal. Soni Kumari.
Yes, ma'am.
Avinav Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Anurag Kumar. Shyam. Kumar Shyam. Aryan Kumar. Abhyas Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Aryan Kumar.
Shams. Aryan. अच्छा Aryan, then Abhyas Kumar. Akib Shams.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhishek Pandey. Angira Ghosh. Abhilash Acharya.
Present, ma'am.
Ujjwal Ujwankar. Ayush Kumar. Rohan Raj. Chandralok Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Shuman Ashur. Ritesh Gupta.
Yes, ma'am.
Deb, he is not present. Sundaram Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
Zangshu Pandey.
Present, ma'am.
नीरज कुमार.
प्रेजेंट मैम.
अभिषेक कुमार. सो गए थे क्या नीरज?
यस मैम.
सो गए थे?
मैम गला थोड़ा सा वो है.
अभिषेक कुमार.
बैठा हुआ है.
Present, ma'am. 35.
आशीष कुमार. राजकमल गुप्ता. आशीष रंजन. सौरभ कुमार.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
शगुन गोयल.
Present, ma'am.
सौरभ सिंह.
Present, ma'am.
अनी कुमार. प्रशंसा.
Present, ma'am.
अर्णव चैटर्जी.
Present, ma'am.
आयुष भौमिक. शुभदीप घोष. मयूक दास.
Present, ma'am.
शुभदीप.
Yes, ma'am.
मयूक दास.
Present, ma'am.
अक्षिता. आयुष दास.
Present, ma'am.
प्रतीति गांगुली.
Yes, ma'am.
शंकर चौधरी. ईशानु नंदी.
Present, ma'am.
ईशानु.
Present, ma'am. Present.
हाँ, आयुष चक्रवर्ती. देवश्रीता बैनर्जी.
Present, ma'am.
सौरजीत बैनर्जी.
Present, ma'am.
सुश्रुत मंडल. Always absent. Ritika Ganguly. Sagar Kumar Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Mohammad Absar Alam.
Present, ma'am.
Akash Das.
Present, ma'am.
Nilesh Patel.
Present, ma'am.
Rahul Goyal. Abhishek Dev.
Present, ma'am.
Arjo Paul.
Present, ma'am.
Sneha Chatterjee.
Yes, ma'am.
Shubham Jain.
Present, ma'am.
Shubham Jain. Present.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Saket Sagar. Saket is absent today. Astha Kumari.
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha Raj. Aryan.